Hi all of you, and this is Wasim here. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the artificial intelligence and what exactly is AI or artificial intelligence and what is it used for. And the other thing is how we can implement it, right? So let's get started. So now, what exactly is AI or artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is the ability that can be imparted to computers, which enables these machines to understand data, right? So actually what they do with this data is they learn from the data and make decisions, right? Now, how they make the decision, they take the patterns which are hidden inside the data. Now, let's elaborate this. So in simple words, we can say that it is a collection of mathematical and call it algorithms that make computers understand relationships between different types and pieces of data, right? So it's nothing but a collection of algorithms. Now there are some people out there who they don't know what exactly is the difference between the AI and machine learning or data science and the deep learning. Sometimes they think about what exactly is AI here, and there are different streams, right? So what exactly is the relationship between these all streams, and what is the difference between all these, right? So I'm going to be talking about here what exactly is the difference here. So let's take a look at this visually, right? So first of all, I'll make you understand visually how much they actually cover up the scope in the AI. So let's take a circle here, and let's say the circle is about it describes the scope of AI, that is the artificial intelligence. And let's say, okay, this is actually the artificial intelligence. Now, let's take another circle that is, we can say, is that we are implementing inside this AI. It means it is nothing but a subset of this, right? So this is a machine learning, you can say. So this is machine learning which sits inside the AI or artificial intelligence, right? Now, let's take another circle, and we call this circle as the deep learning, which is nothing but a subset of this machine learning, right? Now, if we talk about the data science, where exactly does it sits here, right? So now I'm going to be taking here another circle, and this circle will coincide with all these three circles. It means data science covers all these uh, area, right? So you can call it data science. So you can see here using the visual understanding that how we can memorize, or we can see the what exactly is the difference between. Let me take let me tell you about separately of all these things where we use and what are all these streams here. Now, if we talk about the data science, right? Data science is all about the data, right? We all know that every single tech company out there is collecting huge amounts of data, and data is revenue, that is, and sorry, and data is revenue, right? Why is that? That's because of data science. The more data you have, the more business insights you can generate. So this is all about the data science. Now let's talk about the deep learning. Deep learning is actually the advancement of ML, right? So let's talk about the ML first, then you can understand what exactly is deep learning. So if we talk about the uh, machine learning, uh, is you can see here it's a subset of AI. So it's actually the implementation of AI. So whenever you think of AI, you can think of applying ML or machine learning there, right? So machine learning is used in situations where we want the machine to learn from the huge amount of data we give it and then apply that knowledge on new piece of data that streams into the system, right? So for doing all these things, there are different ways of making machines to learn, which includes two types of learning, right? So in machine learning, we have two types of learning that is called supervised learning and unsupervised learning. I'll write it here. Supervised learning, and the second is unsupervised learning. So what exactly is a supervised learning? Supervised learning is like you give the data and it takes the data as training, and then it, after getting trained, it tries to predict uh, the unknown data, right? The results of the unknown data. So supervised learning, you can say that it needs a data to get input, right? But in unsupervised learning, it doesn't need any data to get learned, right? So there's no input data for the model or the ML model so that we can train it on. Now, there are various algorithms in ML which could be used for prediction problems. For example, let's say classification problem, regression problem, uh, and many more, right? So uh, let me tell you some of the examples of these, right? It's like linear regression, polynomial regression, support vector machine, decision tree regression, random forest regression, nearest neighbors, right? So these are all different types of algorithms that are used in machine learning, and I'll be telling you about the linear regression first. Okay, so now let's talk about something, this deep learning. So deep learning is, like, you can say it's an advancement of ML, even though ML is powerful for most applications, but there are situations where ML leaves a lot to be desired. There is where deep learning steps in, right? So it is generally believed that if your training dataset is relatively small, then you can go for the ML. But if you have huge amount of data on which you can train a model, and if the data has too many features, and if accuracy is super important, right? Because accuracy is very important in AI, right? So we take deep learning, we opt for the deep learning here, right? So I hope you guys have a better understanding of what exactly is the AI and what are all the differences between these streams of AI. And yeah, of course, in the next video, we'll be implementing the AI of how we actually implement it using the Python language, and it will gonna be a very easy and short tutorial for all of you to get started with the AI. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's move on to the next video. Uh, Thank you guys.